apply for a test pilot of our inclusively progressive current events program.
Hello, thank you for tuning into the latest in normal news. Today's top story: a convicted murderer turned community activist in Baltimore has suggested a very controversial approach to tackling crime by bribing criminals into not committing homicide. The progressive idea comes from Tyree Moorhead, who was 15 when he was put away for second-degree murder and spent 18 years behind bars, as reported by Fox 45. "I can relate to the shooters," said the activist, who now transforms scenes of deadly shootings into so-called no-shoot zones. Baltimore has been racked by violent crime in recent years, closing out 2020 with 335 homicides, according to statistics from the Baltimore Sun. In 2019, there were 348 murders. A similar strategy has been used before in Richmond, California, one of the most dangerous cities in the country, which paid criminals up to $1,000 a month, as well as provided counseling and job help, NPR reported in 2016. The suburb of Oakland saw its murder rate cut in half, the station said. Former Baltimore police spokesman T.J. Smith agreed that a creative approach is needed to thwart the violence in the city, but said cash is not the answer. He told Fox 45 that, quote, "It could make it easier for people to get their hands on guns because they now have an influx of a different level of cash." John Kerry, the White House's special envoy on climate, warned Friday that the U.S. only has less than a decade left to avoid the worst of a climate catastrophe. Around 2030 is the date at which we have to get the world now on the right path in order to cap the level of warming at that level of 1.5, said Kerry at a Munich security conference. "The scientists told us 3 years ago we had 12 years to avert the worst consequences of climate crisis. We are now 3 years gone, so we have 9 years left," he later told CBS News. Kerry pointed to this week's deadly snowstorms across much of the US. "Obviously we want to prevent this from becoming the new normal to the degree that we can." Kerry noted that the popular belief is that climate change only relates to temperature increases, not decreases, but said in reality it threatens all weather patterns. "This isn't the first time we've been told by politicians we're close to reaching a point of no return. Ocasio-Cortez once said the world will end in 12 years if climate change not addressed at an MLK Now presentation."
Millennials and people and Gen Z and all these folks that come after us are looking up and we're like, the world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change.
"I think it's a very appropriate way to think of it, so it is directly related to the warming, even though your instinct is to say, wait a minute, this is the new ice age. But it's not," Kerry said. "It is coming from global warming and it threatens all the normal weather patterns." The warning from Kerry came as the US formally re-entered the Paris Climate Agreement Friday. Still, he stressed that joining the agreement would not be enough. And for our last story, 2 Florida women dressed as elderly individuals in an effort to obtain a COVID-19 vaccine last Wednesday. The 2 women wore disguises consisting of bonnets, gloves and glasses in order to appear as though they were over the age of 65, the current vaccine age requirement in Florida, according to the Washington Post. Their plot failed when workers at the vaccine distribution clinic noticed the birth dates on their licenses didn't match up with the information they had provided. The women, ages 44 and 34, were then stopped by authorities, according to the sheriff's office in Orange County, Florida. "You've stolen a vaccine from someone that needs it more than you," an officer is heard saying on the footage, shared to Twitter by WSVN News.
"You know what you have done? You've stolen a vaccine from somebody that needs it more than you. And now you're not going to get your second one. So that's a whole waste of time we just wasted here on this. And we're not even sure if they're going to press charges against you and take you to jail right now. Not allowed to be here no more. It's ridiculous that you're here right now.
You're not going to get a vaccine. Okay, so you got to wait your turn.
Despite being apprehended, the women's ruse appeared to have previously worked, as both had cards from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to verify that they had been given their first vaccine doses, the Post reports. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and have a wonderful and progressive day.